Let's take a look at the 60-minute chart of the ES, the S&P 500, as we look at what happened in the overnight session and during the day. So this is that chart of the ES. That you can see, well, it's in the early part of the week we had the market be able to hold up. There wasn't any really sizable gains going on. We had a pretty good day here on Monday as oil surged to the upside. That led the energies, and basically could see not a lot of news during the week at all. Here's where that Nikkei pushed up to the 25-year high, and that led the markets up. But on Tuesday, the Russell was down big as the financials fell. The Russell was about 18% weighted by financials, a lot of them small ones, and then the Russell started to fall. The Russell's been having a hard time over the last month. Wednesday, really no news. It tried to get back up to those highs. You can see that. And Thursday, there was the market was trying to get up overnight, but there was a big crack in Japan on the Nikkei after having all of those gains. It drops a quick 850 points to the downside. It did recover a lot of that, but investors got nervous, and you could see the sellers started to come in overnight, and then it was having a bad down day. S&P's down some 25 here, but then had the strong close, and the buy the dippers were still out there in form. And here on Friday, well, we had weak bonds and a lot of tax plan jitters going on based on, well, what I just told you. And we have a market that opened lower, but has been, as usual, trying to creep its way back. I just noted that there's a flag pattern forming in here. We'll see if it breaks out on the upside, as this one did right in here, or it breaks on the downside. So the jury's still out on that one, as we're here with about an hour and a half left to go in the day for the stock market here and for this week. So that is a look at that 60-minute chart, and you can see what has happened during this week. Now, what we thought last week was that there'd be a dip and then maybe a final blip. I mean, that was the articles that we put out basically had that headline. And we thought that the downside would get to about 25.64 and then pop back up. That was a potential minor upward pop, we thought, because we think it's rolling over to the downside. So, for those of you that aren't accustomed to what our daily charts look like, well, you can see in here that this blue dashed line and this blue dashed line are the same. Those are the cyclical patterns. They've been coming to, well, this one was 16 weeks and this one was 22 weeks. So you can see the variance in time frame, days, I'm sorry. The variance in time. This was 19 right in here. So that's about average length is about 19 or 20. And where we are right now is that this low, in other words, the first half cycle there that we were looking for, came right at the spot where we thought it would come down to and then started to bounce. This is the rally that we thought we'd get that would fail and then come down in a big way. You could see our projection right over there. Gets up into those short-term fib projections right there. Here's that dip we thought would happen right to the number, and then getting really a minor bounce in here. What are we looking for in the next week? Well, we're looking for downside. There's a potential it'll try a little more on the upside in here, as you can see, but then we think the risks are really growing after that as these take a hold on the downside. And then what that says is that we're likely to get into this area of support right there. That is probably my most bullish call that I could make on the stock market, is declining into that zone based on what I'm seeing in here. SPX down to 25.57 or 25.42 is my projection for the next week and a half. So in other words, this is day 11, this is day 12. This is about 7 or 8 day period in here that we're looking for decline, 7 or 8 days into this support zone. So that's what we'll consider the first leg of the corrective period we believe we're going into. Then if that's right, you get a bounce, then the next leg comes out over here, and that is going to be probably scarier if all of this lines up the way that we believe it does. For the NASDAQ on the downside, 62.15 to 61.77 is our target over the next we'll call it 6 to 8 days in this first leg of decline. I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also go to AskSlim.com and become a Level 1 member. No cost to you, and we have some special videos for you to see. I know you'll enjoy them.